Okay, this is a tutorial on how to use TouchCast, going over the beginning process of actually signing up for TouchCast. So first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to get an iPad and you're going to look for the TouchCast Studio app. Click that and you should see something like this pop up. You may have to click on something for it to pop up, but it's just going to ask you to register. If you have already created a TouchCast account, you don't need to click on register, you just click on sign in. So I'm going to click on register with email. And you can see what it wants you to punch in here. Your full name, channel name, email, and password. Now for your full name, obviously that's an easy given, you should know that. But channel name, you can make up something. Obviously it has to be school appropriate, but you can come up with any channel name you want. If the channel name is already taken, then they'll ask you to put a different one in. Email, for that you are going to want to put your ntyogasd.net email into this. Okay, so it's your lunch number at ntyogasd.net, and then come up with a password that you use for other things. You could make it the same password as your Google account so you don't forget it, something you use on a regular basis. Alright, it won't be easy for me to get to that if you forget it. So you may also want to write down whatever password you use. Okay, so that is how you get registered. Okay, you have logged in or registered, and this is what you're going to see. Alright, you can create a new TouchCast. If I look up in the corner, I can create a new TouchCast. I can look at my projects that I have started, or I can look at my finished TouchCasts. Okay, so right now we are in new TouchCast. I know that's a little bit blurry because I'm zoomed in so much, and you have some options with this. Okay, I can start from scratch, which means I can create my own TouchCast any way that I want to. There's a lot of ways you can annotate or write over, talk over in a web page, video, images, maps, a lot of different things you can do. One thing you noticed on me and Mr. Bessick's tutorial or example was that we use this news studio, right? And that's with green screen. There's also a talk show to look like you are in a talk show. There's an example where you're giving a speech in front of the Lincoln Memorial, and newscast, or just like a simple news report, business report, sports report, and a how-to guide or review it guide. So there's a lot of different things that you can do. For this, I'm going to click newscast. And when you start to set this up, it's going to ask you what your title is going to be. Underneath you see search term. You don't need to worry about that right now, but I'm just going to say the latest on example, and then for search term, I guess it wants you to put something in. I could put Middle Ages in there since this is what the project's on. It'll try to set up some stuff for the Middle Ages for me. Now you see that that done is highlighted in green. I'm going to click that. I'm going to wait a second, and it's going to pop up my newscast. Okay, you can see there's fresh news scrolling on the bottom to make it look like a real newscast, which is kind of cool. These right here are VApps, which will be explained in another tutorial. I can add different VApps through that button. I can go to a different one. I can hide them. I can change the effects if I'm using a green screen. I can use a whiteboard on this. I can change the title or add a different title. Right now I'm in the VApp tab. If I click on titles, alright, when you first log on, it'll give you these tools on how to use stuff. So it tells you, explains all this for you, which is really good if you take time to read through what it's showing you. How you go to the next title, adjust how long the title shows, stays on the screen, and so on. Alright, so that's the title one. Whiteboard is another option. I can actually draw stuff over, so if I'm circling something, if I'm showing a map in the background, I can circle it. Alright, you can see that I'm videotaping myself right now. I haven't hit record, but that's what would show. Okay, so that's the whiteboard. Alright, we can make this look like a chalkboard. I want to show everybody how to add. Okay, and I can clear that if I have to. Alright. Right here, clear board. Alright, maybe I don't want a board. I can go to effects. This would be if I want to use a green screen. That'll be a whole separate tutorial. I can make this look like old-timey. If I click on effects, you could see I could go to this one. Alright, and it'll be like an old-timey picture. I think I still have my chalkboard whiteboard up, so let's get rid of that. Okay, so now you can see in my video it looks like black and white, which is kind of cool. So there's a lot of things you can do with the effects tab. Alright, keep scrolling through that. Make it look kind of crazy. Alright, most of the time you're just not going to use any type of filter. It's going to be normal. One of the things that you want to look at is camera. So this is the tab I clicked on, camera. This is where you would hit your record button. You can have a teleprompter. It's kind of hard to see, but if you want to work with that, you can. And you can adjust the speed of the teleprompter. You can change the mic. You can have the mic off. You can have it on. Camera. You can look at. You can turn your camera off and just narrate your background. There's guides you can use, the color temp, go through all these. If you want to swap and look out of your camera, you can, so it's not looking at you. Okay, so those are the basics. Alright, our next tutorial I'll show you how to save and how to share your project with other people in your group. Okay, thanks.